Welcome to the Configure Price Quote Podcast. My name is Sohn and I'm the founder of CPQ Consulting. This podcast is 100% focused on Configure Price Quote, also known as CPQ, and will provide you useful insights into this topic. My guest today is Frits Haas, a consultant for Twyn.ai, which is based in South Africa. Twyn is a tech company that leverages AI-powered digital twins to help manufacturers optimize operations, enhance decision-making, and accelerate their digital transformation. Frits has over 20 years of experience working in ICT, ISP, and telco industry. Welcome to the CPQ Podcast, Frits.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for having me, and hello to your listeners.
Very excited to have you, Frits. Let's start by telling me a little bit more about what you did before you started working with Twyn.ai.
I was an industry expert and consultant working closely with internet service providers, managed services providers, to make them more efficient in their business, optimizing workflows, selecting correct or new technologies, and trying to integrate those into existing platforms.
And with your experience then in sales productivity and quoting solutions, what do you see as the biggest challenges sales teams face today, and how can technology address these issues?
The complexity of solutions is becoming more and more. So salespeople are struggling a lot to try and put solutions together for their customers, specifically their enterprise customers. Today, you've got hundreds of variances of firewalls, software as a service, VPN technologies, SD-WAN. A salesperson is not typically a technical person. So the complexity of these solutions come in quite a lot, as well as the fragmented sales systems and the commercials, which you have to put together as a salesperson. It becomes very, very hard for them to compete with the rest of the world.
And then one question I have, since it's already in the name, Twyn.ai, right? So you're working with AI, obviously. How has that changed your work so far, and how do you see that changing it in the next couple of years, as far as you know today, obviously?
Yeah, so we started out about 6 years ago with our platform, and it was before the ChatGPT mainstream came online. And so we started off with, you can call it a large language model now for telecoms. It's a very specific domain-focused AI. And it has all our 20, 30 years of experience built in to the platform. So you can call it an AI for telecoms or a telecoms engine.
Excellent. So, and since you already mentioned your experience, right? So I mentioned it also in the introduction, over 20 years. That's one question I ask everyone who has that much experience. What's one piece of advice you received in your career that really sticks with you even today?
I think it's people buy from people, right? It doesn't matter how good your technology is. It doesn't matter how good your platform is. If you don't trust a person selling you that information or that kit or that platform, then it's a very, very hard process to close up. So yeah, people trust people, and I think that's where I became a trusted advisor, 20, 30 years ago, to try and help people that don't understand technology. Technology comes easy to me. I think I was sort of born with it. So it's very easy for me to help out customers just by looking at an issue and then coming up with multiple solutions for them.
Excellent. And what do you do when you don't work, Frits?
I have a family. I live on a farm outside of Johannesburg. I have horses, and I compete internationally with horseback mounted archery, which is something I love.
Oh, wow. That's absolutely a first time that I hear that one. So how do you spend time on this? You practice a lot, you go to competitions. What do you do there?
Yeah, well, you have to ride a horse, first of all. It helps. And then, of course, the archery component with it. So it's not your typical Western style archery. It's more the Asiatic style of archery. So it's the bear bows. If you look at the Mongolian Empire, they had the mounted archeries there. So yeah, it's a lot of practice on the ground, a lot of practice on the horse, and then combining the two together into a competition. So lots of fun, lots of challenges.
That sounds very challenging. That's true. How much time do you have to spend to be good at it?
Wow. So world champions currently are sitting around 10 years of experience. I'm coming in around year 3. or year 4. So I'm getting there. We are training very hard and moving up the ranks quite quickly in the world.
Very interesting. As I said, a first one. But let's switch gears and let's talk a little bit more about Twyn.ai. Please tell me a little bit more about it, what it does, and what products and services you offer.
So Twyn is a no-code platform. It was designed here in South Africa for the telco industry and managed services industry, as selling ICT, cloud, and connectivity type services. It does everything that you would expect an OSS, BSS to do, so operational support systems and business support systems. But it comes all in one platform, right? So it comes with a CRM, it comes with a CPQ, it comes with order management and a help desk and everything that an ISP might typically get from multi-vendors. We provide it all in a single pane of glass. The beauty about it is also that we connect and integrate into existing systems because we are data-driven. We're API first. Everything that we do is driven by data. So it really doesn't matter for us where the information and the source of the data sits. We ingest that and then create telemanagement workflows and automations and best practices around that so that to help the user in that division of that telco to perform their tasks much more efficiently and easier.
Excellent. What kind of customers do you focus on? What industries? Is telco obviously anyone else?
Yeah, so we set out to target the big tier 1 telcos, the BTs of the world, AT&Ts, Cox. In Africa, there are many of them. So we're targeting the very large telcos as well as the sort of tier 2 and tier 3 telcos, or ISPs that want to move into the managed services space, or ISPs that were typically only selling connectivity, and they want to now enhance their product portfolio and catalogs to, let's say, SD-WAN. It allows them to leapfrog the competition with our platform.
What's the typical customer size at this point that you work with at Twyn?
So the larger customers are anything from 1,000 to 2,000 users, and the smaller ones are anything between 10 and 50 users, and anything in between. We don't really try to target specific size telcos. We try to solve solutions, whether it's a very small solution for a very large telco or a very large solution for a very small ISP.
Okay. Got it. And the geographies that you focus on, so you're in Africa, in South Africa, are you focusing on other regions as well?
So yes, we started off in South Africa. This is where we're homegrown, and this is where we grew our market. We then moved into the rest of Africa and Europe, so staying in the same time zone. But we've also had customer meetings and demonstrations to customers in America and in Australia. So pretty much global focus at the moment.
And how many employees does Twyn have at this time, and where are they located?
So Twyn is a platform that was built and run by a company called Jurumani, who I consult to. We have over 450 staff in the entire company, and then the Twyn division or Twyn platform has 15 DevOps engineers, as well as pre-sales and sales staff.
And did Twyn receive any kind of investment so far?
I think the Jurumani company bootstrapped it, so it was internally funded by the company themselves.
Okay. And how does Twyn's CPQ solution specifically address the complexities inherent in the telecom and ICT industries?
So this is something that we started off with, and since we've been selling solutions for the last 20 years, we understand how difficult it is for salespeople to put proposals together. So we created a very easy, intuitive workflow that guides the user based on templated designs, commercial workflows, as well as technical designs and business rules, so that the user doesn't make any mistakes when they're putting the quotes together or the proposals together. So that includes things like technical workflows, technical rules, commercial rules, and coverage, I think, is a very big thing. I don't know how big of a coverage area, in America, how many ISPs and MSPs cover certain areas, but in Africa, there are many, many companies that provide connectivity services, cloud services, and it's very hard to understand where they are physically. And so within the workflows, we guide the user through a workflow based on the templated design to offer them a workflow to get the proposal out to their customers quickly, efficiently, the right time, first time, with the correct pricing and the correct technologies.
Then let's start by looking at some of the components, right? So like the product catalog. What can you tell me about the product catalog? Because I think you also mentioned when we talked the last time that you have an advanced product catalog, right? So tell me a little bit more about it and what your customers should know about that.
Yeah, so as we see ICT world and the telecoms world sort of merging, where companies are now selling IT services, LAN and WAN type services, connectivity and cloud services, it becomes very, very complex to put all of these into a catalog. So we built, again, a purpose-built product catalog, which allows you to put together multiple services, multiple products, multiple bundles from your own stack or from different suppliers, even IT-related type of services and cloud-based services. These can be done dynamically or statically, depending on the complexities of how you want to bundle your products. And it becomes a bit of a workshop exercise with product managers to show them how quick and easy it is to put bundles together, or how, if you are selling complex bundles, it takes a bit of time to understand, but once it's in, and it's very easy then for the end user to put together a quote or a proposal for a simple solution or a very complex solution.
Then let's go to the product configurator, right? So telcos typically also have quite some requirements in that regard. What can you tell me about the product configurator from Twyn?
So the product configurator is essentially the guidelines and the workflows that the user will follow when they're putting the quotes together. And this is controlled by the product manager or the commercial manager that is in charge of selling their products in certain areas. And it's all based on their rules, their principles, their commercial rules, their technical rules. So each and every single instance of Twyn is different based on the customer's requirements, based on the market requirements. Everything is configuration driven, which is very important to understand. It's a no-code platform again. So it's a drag and drop exercise, Frank, to put together products and services in the catalog and then display that for the user in the front end.
But let me dig a little bit deeper on this one, right? So because for product configurator, I would say you could have rule-based, you could have attribute-based, you could have constraint-based configurators, and so on. So what kind of configurator do you have there? And what is the typical complexity level that you have to deal with? Is there anything that listeners should know about the volume of rules that you can handle, and any kind of certain information points that customers are interested in typically?
So I think in terms of the configurator, it has innovative design patterns based on the product catalog, as well as the built-in telecoms domain, which we've built. We call it a telecoms engine. And the engine essentially guides the user to align the technical design choices with the customer objectives, right? So it removes the technical complexities and improves the accuracy of the quote. There's a lot of domain knowledge that's built into this engine or configurator. And then based on the products that you load in the product catalog, together with all the characteristics, as well as the coverage map. So you can, geofence a certain product there. And the configurator depends on how the business wants to sell these products. So they can be configured to suit any type of user, whether it's just selling call center outbound easy products like a SIM card, or if you're selling MPLS VPNs across multiple sites across the entire world. It allows for ease of use and allows the user not to delve deeply into the complexities of these products and services. It offers guidelines and shows alternatives and solutions for the user. So not only does it give you best of practice and best world solution, it also gives you 4 or 5 different alternatives for that solution based on different hardware, different vendors, different business rules, different commercial rules. So yes, it can get complex, but we often, in our roles as advisors to the telecoms companies, we try to get them to simplify their products first before putting it into the CPQ, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be selling products you can't support, right? And that's the challenge really, at the end of the day, is don't sell stuff that you can't support, because you'll close your doors after a few years.
And that's a very good point you're making here, right? So to review your product structure before you start your configuration work, how often do you actually do that, right? And how long do these projects take when you do it?
Yes, it keeps us busy. We try to do it as often as possible. I think every 6 months to a year, if the customers are willing to do that, I think is a good state of recycling, your products and services, and also to take a step back and look where the market is going, right? So since COVID, the market has changed in Africa. Bandwidth is increasing, demand is increasing, customers are requesting different types of products. And so our bigger telcos, who are very slow moving, really struggle to do that every 6 months, right? It takes them 6 months just to launch a product. So we often advise to look at this while we onboard you with our Twin CPQ. So as part of our onboarding services, we offer to look at your product stack, look at your enterprise architecture, see where we can help simplify things, and also guide the clients to what the current market is requesting, right? Nobody wants an MPLS network anymore, for example. They're all looking for SDN, SD-WAN, SASE, firewall as a service, network as a service, X as a service. So where do you go? How do you do all of this? So that, so part of our technology stack is advising our customers to make their product stack more efficient and more aligned to the current market, and then implementing that in the Twin platform.
Hello, everyone. If you have any questions concerning CPQ, consider contacting us at info@novocpq.com, because we help customers with all kinds of questions related to CPQ. So we're involved in customer projects and we provide industry analyst services. So let me give you 2 examples on what helps a lot of customers regularly and see if that would be a help to you. The number one is we help customers find the right CPQ solution for them. We do that for customers of all sizes and all industries. I've been working in the industry since '96, and we help you to find the right solution. We do that with one-on-one meetings and projects, but we also do that through written reports. So we have the CPQ analyst report is our latest report. We currently have 6 and we'll soon have 7 available. And then throughout the year, we're striving to have around 20, hopefully more by the end of the year, and there will be even more reports. And we also help customers to stay up to date with what's happening in the CPQ world. If you already have a solution and you want to see what's new, we have a subscription that offers a number of hours and a monthly newsletter that shows what's happening in the CPQ space. It's our CPQ Circle subscription. If you have any questions about this, send us an email at info@novocpq.com. To close out the capability questions, what can you tell me about the pricing engine that Twin is using?
The pricing engine is based on input costs. So supply chain management is a very powerful function within the product catalog. So we understand the end-to-end cost of a product that our clients sell, or the services that they sell. So we understand the underlying supplier, the costing of that. And then we allow for product managers and commercial managers to control commercials. How much profit and margin are you making? Are you making it on a deal basis? Are you making it on a line-by-line basis? Are you making a deal on a solution? So it allows for different scenarios to be put together in terms of managing the pricing components and the commercial components. And at the end of the day, because we understand the input costs, we can already show in real time a deal sheet while you're working on a customer solution, which is great. You can already see where you're making money, where you're not making money, or you're making a loss on the deal before you even propose it to the customer. And of course, you can have workflows that allow other people to review your pricing and commercials before you send that off to your client.
Got it. And then I already said I would ask the last question about capabilities. Obviously not true because the most obvious win, Twyn.ai. We haven't talked about AI yet, right? So for me, the question is really where it's used, right? And I would see it used in two places. On one is from a user point of view, how do I recognize that you have an AI? I talk to a chatbot or something like that, or I use AI to help me administer the product, so to set it up. Can you tell me from both perspectives where Twin AI is using AI?
Yes, I think it's coming a long way now. So we're working on something quite exciting where you don't even have to click through the platform anymore to get your quote out. You can simply ask the AI to put a quote together for you for a multi-site enterprise customer using multiple technologies and multiple last miles. Go and check the coverage. Is there fiber available? Is there microwave or wireless available? And what are the prices of those products and services? And it will create a beautiful proposal for you just by talking to it and asking it. So that's very close. Right now, it's just a few clicks, and that will put together, your proposal. And in the back end, we enable project managers and program managers to use the AI to look at the status of the delivery of the solution once it's been sold. So a simple, normal language question is, what is the status of my bank customer in this state? And it will come back with a report to say, these are 20 sites, some are in delivery, some are already active. And would you like to see more? And you can then go and delve down deeper into the ETOM tasking levels that we go down to within the platform. So that's very exciting because at the end of the day, you can just talk to our platform and it will help you be a bit more efficient in your day-to-day job. And it allows you to focus more on the more important things. We always talk about the 80-20 rule, the 80% run-of-the-mill business, which needs to run as much automated as possible. And of course, you have your 20%, which is your custom bespoke solutions where you really have to sit and work with your customer to understand their very complex challenges and then come up with a very complex custom solution for them. And that is where the more technical guys can then focus on that, and the account managers can run the business, the 80% of the business almost automatically.
And I think in preparation for this call, we also talked about Twin's connectivity finder, right? So tell me, please, what it is and how you use it and how it benefits the customer.
Yeah, it's a service that comes with the platform. It's a geospatial capability that we've built in. We have a GIS team of experts that have put together a database that's hosted in the cloud that collates all coverage data of all operators that we work with. In South Africa, there are over 300 fiber network operators, wireless internet service providers, and mobile operators. And they all have different coverage maps based on the different technologies and different areas of deployment. So we collate and aggregate all that data. So it's not our data. It's data that we pull through from APIs, real-time database connectors, uploading of KML files, any data that we can get our hands on. We digitize it, and then we provide it back to the user in real time in terms of, is there coverage in that area? Yes. Okay, cool. What product is now associated with that coverage area? So it can be as easy as we're just pulling an API, or we're actually using complex data sets, which we then clean up for our customers as well. So it's a bit of a managed service that we offer in terms of GIS. It's a very, very deep topic as well, and perhaps for another time we can have those discussions too, because it's a very important part of the CPQ. If you can't coach your customer and fully understand that they've got connectivity in the area with a technology partner, there's always comebacks. And then you're left with egg on your face at the end of the day because you can't offer the service that you promised your customer.
No, I thought it was just a very interesting topic, so just wanted to touch it, not go into depth here. Now, let's also look at other integration opportunities of the solution, right? It's obviously CRM, ERP, e-commerce, potentially other systems. What can you tell me about that? What out-of-the-box integrations does Twyn offer?
Yeah, I think the important thing is to understand that we integrate with any existing platform through any kind of means, typically API first. So out of the box, we have some off-the-shelf integrators or elements that we use to connect to other APIs such as Salesforce, SAP, B1, Oracle BI. Any system that is existing, we can interact and integrate with. Because our platform is no code, we can spin up an API in a matter of days or weeks. There's no real development required there. And so typically we don't build something if our customer doesn't ask for it, so that we can keep our technical debt a little bit lower. And then some of them are Telemanagement Forum compliant and some are not. It really depends on our customers' requirements at the end of the day.
And how does Twyn's AI platform leverage data analytics to provide insights that enhance price strategies and sales performance?
The big data question, because we are in control of the data, we create digital twins of systems and information across the entire ecosystem of our customer. We can quite easily create beautiful Grafana dashboards, bar graphs, pie charts, with any calculation that you can think of, right? And we can also start doing things like predictive maintenance and start predicting what your sales cycle is going to look like, what your network capacity is going to look like. Everything that you need to run a business at the end of the day, we can provide the insight that you need. So how good is sales doing this month? How good is the delivery doing this month? How good is your support doing this month? We can create beautiful charts for that. And again, those are all refreshed in real time based on data that is being used within the platform.
Got it. And I want to follow up on one thing concerning the maintenance of the solution, right? So you mentioned a couple of times that you have a low code, no code kind of solution, right? So what's always a little confusing for myself included, plus customers that I talk to, is what does it mean? Everyone says they have low code, no code these days. So what does it really mean? What is the difference to what you had before? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Twyn itself has a configuration portal and then a front-end portal. So that no-code portion is where we configure workflows, we configure integrations, we configure products and services. The underlying infrastructure is a software as a service, and then we manage that maintenance of that platform for our customers. And then underneath that is infrastructure that's run in the cloud, which is also run by us and maintained by us. So we offer everything back as a service to the customer. They don't have to worry about new versions or upgrading or patching things. We do that all automatically on the fly over the air.
But let's look at specifically configuration and pricing maintenance, right? So prices change, they need to be set up. Who's going to do that? Configurations, you will have new products need to be set up, new options need to be set up. There may be more or less complex rules that are set up for who's maintaining it, how much training do they need before they can actually do the maintenance.
Yes, so depending on our customers, they typically ask us to do that. So we provide that as a service, or we hand over the reins to our customers. We give them training. We ask for some super users so that we can give them training. And we teach them how to configure products or update products. And this can be as simple as uploading a bulk Excel sheet to update your pricing or your product catalogs. It's a very, very quick and easy exercise. It's as easy as attaching an attachment to an email and sending that off. Well, I'm simplifying it, but yes, it becomes very easy and intuitive for people to maintain their pricing, maintain their products, maintain their catalog, maintain the collateral of their marketing, for example. It's very, very easy. And within 1 or 2 training sessions, the users are already intuitively understanding how our platform works. Everything that we've done with the platform is designed so that people can take it over from us and use it themselves. And we even look at, we've even looked at approaching systems integrators who can take our platform and white label it and offer it back to their system, their customers as well, who are ISPs and telcos and managed services providers. So I think the main point and main key is we make things as easy as possible for users to use our platform with minimal training. Or on the other end, if you really don't want to, we do it for you, and we provide expert advice and services on top of that too.
Got it. And I think that sounds very interesting for lots of people if they maybe want to see the solution in action. So hence my question, are you going to any industry events? I would expect people can go to the website anyway and request a demo. But is there anything else where they can potentially meet you or any other representative from Twyn.ai in person to learn a little bit more about it?
Yeah, we often go to telecoms events in Africa. The main one is in Cape Town in November called AfricaCom, and then there's other events in Kenya, East and West Africa. But I think the main point is to see a demo specifically to what your requirements are. So we tailor make our demos to each client. So if you have a very specific challenge or problem, we can chat and then show you a specific demo on how we solve those solutions.
Excellent. And if any of our listeners have questions for you or the Twyn.ai team, what's the best way to get a hold of them or of you?
Yeah, just pop me an email, Frits with an SH at Twyn.ai, or they can just give me a call on my mobile, which we can share it later as well.
Excellent. Also, one question, you're on LinkedIn as well, so they can put that link in as well.
Excellent. Yes, I forgot about that. Thank you. Thanks for reminding.
Excellent. We will have all this information in the show notes. As always, Frits, thank you very much for making time for the CPQ podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening and hope you learned something interesting today. If you like the podcast, please go ahead and rate it on iTunes or share it with your friends and colleagues. In the meantime, you can find us online at www.novocpq.com. So long, everyone.